We all want to be healthy. We want to be healthy from the bottom of our feet to our knees and our stomach, our heart, our eyes and our head to the top of our heads. But can we participate in making ourselves sick? Yes. And one of the ways we can do this is not ask for help. This reminds me of a small town in Indiana where an elderly man asked my father for help. He approached him at a meeting and said he needed shelter. He needed a place to live. Dad pulled up a chair, pulled up another chair and said, "If you sit there, I'll sit here and help you if I can. I'll find a way." Dad pulled up a third chair and asked another person to join them. And by the end of the process, had formed a committee, made applications and grants, and now in that small town is a small high-rise apartment for the elderly. A dream come true for that man because he asked for help and unwittingly helped hundreds of others. Well, it wasn't long after that my dad met a man from Macon, Georgia, a language scholar. And they began talking, and this man had a farm in Georgia, and he said, "We need help with finding houses for people, especially sharecroppers who have been thrown off the land they used to work." Dad pulled up a chair, pulled up another chair and said, "If you sit there, I'll see what I can do. I'll help you if I can." He pulled up a third chair. And the result was, several years later in Stony Point, New York, Dad was elected the first chair of the board of directors of a new volunteer organization called Habitat for Humanity. It makes sense that they called him the first chair. When we ask for help, we have no idea of how we can change the world. We need to ask for help, but I get ahead of myself. We can make ourselves sick by not asking for help, and in the process, hurt our world. Imagine, if you will, that you have a house with one room, and in that room are 3 chairs and a pet and a plant. And you say, "I don't really need the plant, and so work with me here." You throw the plant out. Now you have 3 chairs and a pet. And perhaps, like some, you think, "Well, the pet is just a pet." And so you throw the pet out. Again, work with me here. And now you have 3 chairs. And you say to yourself, "I really don't need 3 chairs." So you take one of the 3 and throw them out. Now you're in a house with 1 room and 2 chairs. And you say to yourself, "I really only need 1 chair to be there." And so you throw the other one out. Now you have a house with 1 room and 1 chair. And you say to yourself, "I really don't need that chair there. I can sit on the floor." And so you take the chair and throw it out. And now you have a house with 1 room, and you have become a world of one in an empty room. It's like that when we don't ask for help. So first, you threw out the plant, not needing the nature of life. This causes illness. You threw out the pet, not needing the comfort of creatures great and small, 2-legged, 4-legged, some that slither, some that fly. some that lie. You didn't need the creature and threw them out. And the chairs. There were 3 chairs and you threw the first one out. Now there is no community. You threw the second one out. And now you cannot sit there with your friend. And you threw the last one out. And you sit there all alone. This is what it's like when we don't ask for help. It's like the sound of one hand clapping in an empty room. Which begs the question, can we then change this? Can we participate in helping make ourselves well? And the answer is yes. We need 1 chair for solitude. Time alone, time to reflect on the actions we've taken in our lives, time to reflect and gather their meaning and wisdom and our learnings, looking at the mistakes and successes, and come back renewed into a new sense of purpose and action. We do that from 1 chair. Bring in the second chair, and yes, you can participate in your health and healing by having a loved one, a friend, sitting across from you that you can trust, that you can share your deepest heart with, you can share your joy with, share your concerns with. But this takes 2 chairs. And if the 2 of you want more of that good medicine, you bring in a 3rd chair, and the whole world changes. You bring in the 3rd chair, and now there's community. Perhaps another respected person, elder, member of the community, and now the conversation is among the 3 of you. If you add enough chairs to that, you have not only a community, but you have a way to change the world that started with 1 chair. Yes, with you sitting there, you can make the world well, more and more each day. 1 chair, 2 chairs, 3 chairs, and more. And what of the pet? Bring the pet back in the house. 2-legged or 4-legged, furry or skinny, tall or short, winged, slithery, whomever that pet is that you cherish. We all know, we all have that experience of how much they can love us and teach us, and the pain of their absence when they go. So bring that pet back in. Bring that kind of joy and comfort that only a pet can bring. Now we've reconnected with the creatures of the earth. What about the plant? Bring the plant back in, of course. And now you have 3 chairs and a pet and a plant. A plant tall or short, full of chlorophyll, wanting to grow, growing in the sun, shedding light of its own, helping us and our pet to breathe. And now we've re-engaged with the nature of life, the creatures, the plants, all of nature, and our relations. As some in my extended family say, matakweasan, we are all related. So how is it we help make ourselves well, to feel better, to decrease pain, head pressure, muscle tension? Get a chair. Bring in that chair and spend some time in solitude and peace. Don't be afraid. You're in good company once you sort things out. You and the spirit that's in that house that love built. And how else do we make ourselves well? Bring in a second chair and invite your friend in. Have them sit across from you and ask for their help. And they may just ask for yours. And in that magic moment, the axis of the world begins to shift in your favor. And so if you want to do more, bring a third chair in. And now you have community. 3 things essential for health: solitude, friendship, and community. The story about the small town in Indiana and then Stony Point, New York. By the time my father passed several years ago, he celebrated with Habitat for over 500,000 houses around the world. It started with the first chair. So I have people tell me or protest that they really can't make a difference. And I try not to go there. We talk and share, and I tell them of these stories, and they begin to tell theirs, and soon they ask for help, or I ask for help, and another comes in, and there's a community now, and we have help abundant, which is what brings us great health. Rather than scarcity, abundance. Rather than fear, fellowship. We have hope. And from hope comes dreams, and from dreams comes a world that is changed. Bring in the plant, bring in the pets. What a world. What a room. 3 chairs, a pet, and a plant. Asking for help when needed. And we give help when we can. And in community, but with the right for solitude or friendship, we increase our health. And you know what? You'll find that's good medicine.